Hi, I'm Andrew Flowers, Chief Economist at Appcast, and I'm here with the Recruitonomics review of the February 2025 U.S. Jobs Report. We're having some fun with our title today. Our takeaway is, despite Doge Blitz, hiring still ticks. I have to thank my colleague Sam Kuhn for that one. The February jobs report showed that the U.S. economy added 151,000 net new jobs last month, and the unemployment rate rose slightly to 4.1%. So those are the high-level numbers, but let me walk you through my takeaways. First, this morning's jobs report showed that the labor market is growing at a remarkably strong and steady rate. Although February added 151,000 jobs, you see here the 3 and 6 month moving averages. The lines on this chart show that over the past 3 months, we're adding roughly 200,000 jobs a month, and over the past 6 months, 190,000 jobs a month. So this is quite strong, and so I would describe it as shrugging off the short-term uncertainty out of Washington. Now, which industries were powering job growth? Surprise, surprise, healthcare continues to be extremely strong, representing roughly a third of job growth in February, in adding 52,000 jobs in that sector. However, other industries have also been pretty strong. Construction had a solid month, adding 19,000 jobs. We've also seen some uptick over the past few months in tech jobs, in the information category, not described here. So overall, not only is job growth at the top line looking strong, but the breadth of job growth across different industries is improving. However, that said, the first 6 weeks of the new Trump administration has been a whirlwind of policy changes. So just this week, for example, we saw broad-based tariffs on Mexico and Canada were enacted and then revoked within 48 hours. And so the tariffs, whether the threatened or real tariffs, have whipsawed financial markets. And we see this here with economic policy uncertainty from trade is at an all-time high, spiking very sharply. And that could have consequences that aren't perhaps impacted in this February jobs report, but in the March numbers to come and in the future. And it's not just tariffs, right? The Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, has been trying to reduce the federal workforce. And we're starting to see that those efforts are materializing, right? Employment in the federal government fell by 10,000 last month in February. This is the largest 1 month drop since June of 2022. And moreover, just yesterday on Thursday, the Department of Labor published some data showing that unemployment claims, which is like a proxy for layoffs, increased for federal workers by 1,600. So 1,600 federal workers filed for new jobless claims. So the full impact of DOGE will take many months to unfold in the data, but this is the first sign of what's to come. And finally, let's talk about wage growth. It has been sticky. Average hourly earnings in February were up 4.1% year over year, which is, as you can see, well above the pre-COVID trend. Other measures of wage growth here on the chart are a little bit more subdued, around 3 to 3.5%. But what this does is it puts the Federal Reserve, our nation's central bank, in a kind of difficult situation where they have to choose between two competing priorities. The Fed is looking at the strong job market from this morning's report and the sticky inflation and wage growth, and that would, all things equal, keep the Fed cautious about further reductions in interest rates. However, the Fed is balancing those facts on one hand versus all the headwinds to growth that we just talked about, from tariffs and the associated uncertainty. So that's the wrap for the February 2025 jobs report. Please check out a full breakdown on recruitonomics.com and have a great weekend, everyone. Take care.